Shalom. This is Kabash Maya Sharala. And before I hop to today's lesson, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High in the name of His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in the true Paleo Hebrew tongue. Ka, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amaf. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders, GMS who rule well and teach well. I want to give double honor to my elder as well, Aaron Juan Ban Yasharala, the Lions Den camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I want to say shalom to the Akim around the four corners of the globe, pushing the truth and sincerity. And with that being said, this lesson going into the topic of belief in the Lord not being enough. So having faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai alone won't save you. We show our faith through our works, obedience, and sincerity. So you can have all the faith in the Lord that you want, know who He is, know of Him, but if you're not bearing fruits of His Spirit, you're not shining His light of righteousness in a dark, wicked world. You're not showing yourself worthy of deliverance. You're not showing yourself worthy of salvation. You're not showing yourself worthy of the Spirit that He placed within you. And we're laboring in righteousness the same way we labor in this world on our carnal jobs. And so in doing so, we work to get paid. We don't just do this because we like, we serve the Lord in truth and sincerity. We like laboring for the Lord, but we don't like working these jobs in the world, but we do it to get paid. We serve Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai even much more so through truth and sincerity to obtain that salvation that we're striving for, to get paid. But if you're not showing up to work and you think the Lord got something for you, you got another thing coming. And you show somebody you love them by doing, what they require of you. Like, you got friends in this world, they don't tolerate certain things, and you respect those boundaries. And so as friends of Yahweh Shai, we respect the boundaries that He has for us to stay within, especially us being His sheep. Because us wandering out of those boundaries means we done left His light and we done went back into the darkness of this world where we're not protected. We're not being watched over and tended to. So belief alone won't save you. Because if you're laboring in righteousness, you're tending to that spiritual person within. You're watching for prophecy. You're out shining light just in general. Anyone claiming to be of the Lord should be bearing fruit or shining light to show forth that faith. Otherwise, you're basically a liar, a hypocrite. The list goes on. And you don't want to be a founder. You don't want to be found to be a worker. You don't want to be found to be a liar. You don't want to be found to be a worker of iniquity. Anything like that. A sluggard. But just to get into it, this Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So if you believe in something, for instance, I'm a football fan. I can tell you this, that, and the third about football. I can get into history. We can talk about stats, coaches, schemes, all that. That come from research, watching, partaking in, so on and so forth. Same thing with the Lord. You say you believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. There should be something on you signifying that. Some wisdom, knowledge, understanding, some form of light, some form of fruit to show forth that faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Our faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai can't be seen physically, but we speak His word. We speak His words. We shine His light. We bear His Spirit. And that should be seen. Because that's how we're separated from this world, through the Spirit. There's people out here claiming to be of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, but they didn't take they're not spiritually circumcised. They still of this world. They didn't allow the Lord to transform them into new creatures. and they have no evidence to show forth their faith. But us, the ones who are truly striving in righteousness, we have fruit. We're bearing fruits of righteousness. Hebrews 11:6. But without him, it is impossible to please. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So you have to have faith in the Lord. I'm not saying don't be faith. Don't just be all about the business, because we're to serve the Lord in truth and sincerity. We're not just employees of the Lord, We're his friends. And yes, business is being handled, but this the family business. We got a father, big brother Yahweh Shai, father Yahweh, big brother Yahweh Shai, and we got our Akim and Aquathium, brothers and sisters out here laboring with us, all striving towards the same thing. But like I said, there's people out here, they don't even have faith in the Lord. Or they'll have faith in the Lord and they're just not diligently seeking him, thinking they're going to obtain a reward, but they're not. Telling people of the Lord, but they're being the bad example of his spirit, People who put their hand on this plow, they went out doing the work, teaching, and then went back in the world. And then the Lord had them in a deceived mindset to where they still think the Lord dealing with them. When the Lord makes it clear that he's not. And that's what's at stake. Ultimately, man, salvation. We don't want the Lord to send us back into darkness. So those are the sheepfold, man. We're to continue laboring in righteousness. And for those who get to work. And it's not hard, man. This is our reasonable duty of service. Romans, I want to say 12:1. I want to say 12:1. John 15:1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the true husbandman. Every branch of me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. So, again, we're a part of we're one body. And Yahweh B'Ashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the farmer, Yahweh Shai being the vine, and us being the branches. So for us to still maintain our spot in the family, so to speak, the family business, I'll say, we have to show forth works. We have to earn our keep. You got everybody rowing on the boat, but one person, everybody else putting in work, gonna look at that person like, hey man, pick up a rope, get to it. Cause you're not being productive. And don't nobody get a free ride on this road to salvation. That's why Yahweh Shai said, every branch of me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. If you're not laboring in righteousness, the Lord gonna take that spirit, his spirit away from you and send you back into the world. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to stay at a novice level in our laboring, I'll say like fast food. You start off at a crew member, then you become team lead, then the shift lead, then a general manager, assistant manager, general manager. You work your way up the chain. Or even still, you learn how to move within. They might start you off on fries. You might learn the burger station, whatever else they got going on there, learn to work the register. You want to make yourself more and more useful to the Lord. And that's how we bear more fruit. We go from just having faith in the Lord to being an example of his spirit to going out teaching and so on and so forth. increasing in righteousness. Not staying, what's the word I'm looking for? Stagnant, not being stagnant. Matthew 7:19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. So if you're not bringing forth good fruit, you out here teaching false doctrine, your work's gonna be cast into the fire. But if you just be the same goes if you're not bringing forth any word, you just a dead branch. The Lord gonna cast you into the fire. What fire? The lake of fire. That judgment that He's bringing upon the earth via thermonuclear heat. That should be enough to make you want to get up and work. We're trying to escape the judgment, the fire that the Lord bringeth to this place. So keep that in mind, And when the Lord told us the things to come. By us being His friends, I was watching LeBron, back in the day, I remember a long time ago, I watched LeBron James talking about his kids. And now his kids give him give their friends at school a report on if LeBron gonna play tonight, how he feeling, what he think he finna do, this, that, and the third. So, like the inside scoop. The same way with with our Father, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. He gave us the inside scoop on what's to come. And we're to be preparing ourselves, considering the ways of the ant, moving in wisdom, not as fools. Matthew 5:14, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on the hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but unto a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light shine so before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So we're the light of the world. We're the only vessels of righteousness that's going to be out here doing the Lord's work. So we're to shine that light. Don't hide, we won't trim my ways, seeking love of this world. Because a friend of this world is enmity with the Lord. And the Lord also said, whoso shall be ashamed of him, he'll be ashamed of you in his return. Roughly paraphrasing scripture. So we don't put that light, we don't put our righteousness under a bushel. We only shining, portions, bits and pieces of it. Or to keep peace with this world, we put away our righteousness, take off our righteous garments, our covering, our spirit of the Lord. No, we shine that. Regardless of persecution, anything this world could throw our way. Because when you at work, you got a uniform on. Our uniform is the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. We put that on and wear it. And so what people got to say about, they look at us like we work at McDonald's or something, not, a job. I care less. But it's people out here like that. And us laboring in righteousness, working for the Lord, they'll laugh, ha ha, kiki, but go read the Wisdom of Solomon 5. We'll be laughing in the latter end. We're going to be the ones standing in great boldness. And they going to know that they were the ones striving contrary. And the main point is to keep working. Keep striving, keep laboring. And for those new in the truth, man, don't hide, don't put your light under a bushel. Shine it. Or learn how to shine it. Seek out the Lord to be able to shine that light. James 2:17. Even so faith, if it have not works, is dead being alone. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Salakia. So faith alone is dead. You can sit there, believe in the Lord all day. You know, that's like playing Monopoly and not buying no property, not doing nothing. You just rolling the dice and moving around the board, collecting your $200 as you pass go. That's not gonna get you nowhere. We contending for crowns of incorruption, and so we should run to win the race. So play to win. If you gonna serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai, dive all the way in. Don't stick your toe in. Don't just stick your lower body in. Fully submerge yourself in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because people out here say they love the Lord, they can't tell you nothing about him. That's true. Versus us, somebody come to us seeking the Lord, we could tell them everything about him. And that's the difference. James 2:18 again. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. So you ask people, what's the will of the Lord? They can't tell you. They'll tell you God is peace, God is love, John 3:16 doctrine. Or we'll tell you, he the king of terrors. He finna destroy this place. He a so-called Yahushua, a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. Tell them all about the Paleo-Hebrew. The laws, statutes, commandments haven't been done away with. This, that, and the third. You know, give them the true doctrine. It really introducing them to who the Lord is. Because we studied to show ourselves approved and we took the steps necessary to be able to do so. Versus people... There's people out here, they'll pull up to the camp and they'll hear a little something that sound good, and they'll go try to teach somebody else, but because they weren't built up in that, they didn't take the proper steps. They not able to do so, and then when they're questioned, when their faith is tested, you know, they get offended. That goes on the sower who went to sow. And because they didn't know, you know, they realized what it takes to be a prophet of the Lord or just serve him, you know, they turn around and walk back to the world because it's too hard for them. They rather walk that wide gate Broadway, that path of this world. And that's really why a lot of people, they got the Lord's name in their mouth. And they ain't really, you know, they talking the talk, not walking the walk. Because talking is easy, working hard. But we in the Lord's spotlight. And with anything else in this world, man, you in the spotlight, that comes with a lot of pressure. 2/3 of our people weren't built to handle it. But we walk with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because the more we labor in him, the more he deals with us. And that's what we want. We want to maintain that relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's why we labor. We also labor to maintain the spirit within us. We tend to the Lord's sheep. It's people out here saying they love the Lord. They're not feeding his sheep. Like Yahushua said, if you love me, feed my sheep. They're not doing these things. But we show our faith by our works. Regardless of what those fruits may be. Maybe teachings, it may be how you deal with situations, you know. The gifts of the Spirit. James 2:19, thou believest that there is one God. Thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. So again, you can believe in the Lord all you want. The devils believe in him too. They go talk to him. They get their instruction from the Lord. You go read Job when the sons of men went to go see the Lord and Satan was among them. Satan and Yahweh was talking like good old friends. Where you been going, Satan? Well, I've been going around to and fro, seeking whom I, you know. I think it's Job chapter 2. Matter of fact, we can get it real quick. Because, yeah, again, you can believe in the Lord all you want. The devils believe too. Yeah. I'm gonna run through it and get to the point. Job 2:1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan also came among them to present himself before the Lord. So Satan came to present himself before the Lord. Wouldn't you know it? And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou not considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth Yahweh, and he sheweth evil, and still holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause? And Satan answered the Lord and said, Hold on. Oh, okay, yeah, that's the one. What's this doing? Oh, hold on. It might be this one. Salakia is this one. Job 1:6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doeth Job fear God for naught? So, just getting back to the point, Satan pulled up on the Lord, basically, and they talking like they just catching up. Because stuff will get to happening in the world. People will blame the Lord. Blame Satan. Be like, the devil did this, that. No, the Lord controls the powers of both sides. Satan basically pulling up on the Lord for some instruction. And then the Lord told him to go test Job, a servant of him. And Satan basically asked him, man, does Job serve you for no reason? Does he fear, respect you for nothing? And he continues on to verse 10. Hast thou not made a hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increasing the land. And that's Satan talking. And you supposed to have him protected, this, that, the third, blah, 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 blah. And you just gonna let me at him. Verse 11, But put forth thy hand now, and touch all that he hath, and we'll curse thee to thy face. That's the Lord's response. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh. And so that's what the Lord's response was. He told him to go test him. And the Lord told Satan to go test Job, touch everything that he has, mess his life up. Just don't touch him. And he gonna rebuke you to his face, regardless of his status in the world, regardless of this, that, and the third. That's the mindset we're to be in. Continuing in righteousness, bearing our cross, as Job did. Because guess who sent Satan after him? The Lord. Where do our trials, tribulations, this, that, and the third come from? The Lord. And going back to this precept, James 2:19, the whole reason I brought this out, James 2:19 again, thou believest there is one God, thou doest well. The devils believe and tremble. So your faith as to how it weighed that of a devil, somebody who physically, actually gets his instruction from the Lord. Just having faith in the Lord not enough. You have to be laboring in righteousness. The devil's believing and trembling. So how much for what it's 2/3 of our people, they are proud towards the Lord. You tell them the true gospel, they laughing, mocking, scoffing, persecuting, this, that, and the third. While the devils are trembling. So we should be striving to escape the judgment that the Lord bringeth to this place. Show ourselves worthy of him. Show our sincerity in doing so. Shine in that light. And y'all rock the Zardis, less was edifying. And until the next time,